Welcome to the 11 of Becoming a Solutions Architect. Today we are exploring two powerful features in EC2, and that is instance metadata and user metadata. For instance metadata, we are going to study how to retrieve instance-specific details programmatically. And then for user data, we are going to study how to automate tasks by running scripts when an instance starts. So by the end of this, we will understand how metadata works, how to retrieve it inside an EC2 instance, learn how to use user data scripts to automate configurations, know how to combine user data and metadata to create dynamic instances setups. So now, understanding EC2 metadata. What is an EC2 metadata? An EC2 metadata is a special set of information that provide details about an instance from inside itself. It includes the instance ID, the AMI ID, that is the Amazon Machine Image ID, the private and public IP addresses, the VPC and subnet details. And you cannot access these metadata from outside the instances. It's only available inside AWS. How can you retrieve a metadata? Metadata is stored in this special local IP address displayed on the screen. We can also use the curl command inside the Linux instance to access it. Example. An example code on the screen like this can be used to retrieve it. And the output can give you an example like something like this on the screen, 192.168.1.24. To get a public IP address, you can use the scale command as well, which is displayed on the screen, to retrieve your public IP address. This command retrieves the public IPv4 address of the instance. And if an instance does not have a public IP, this command will return nothing as well. You can also use the curl command on this screen to retrieve all the available metadata categories. And it will return the list of metadata attributes such as the AMI ID, instance ID, local hostname, local IPv4, public hostname, and then public IPv4 as well. This command helps us to explore all available metadata options. Just as I said, each item in the list is retrievable separately using the metadata URL. So AWS user data allows you to automate instance setup by running a script only on the first boot. And that is used in installing a software, example, web servers, Docker, database, and so on. It is also used in running configuration scripts and also creating startup logs for monitoring. So user data script can run only once when the instance is first launched. When launching an EC2 instance, you can add this user data, which is being displayed on the screen. And let's get a bit explanation of this user data. The bin bash tells us that the AWS script should be run using the bash shell. And then the next update -y also update the Linux package manager. And then the yum install httpd -y installs Apache web server. And then systemctl starts httpd, starts the web server. Systemctl enable httpd also ensures the web server starts automatically on reboot. And then you have your message, which creates a simple web page inside the var.html directory. So how do you use user data in the AWS console? Now, when launching an EC2 instance, you can specify the user data script. In the AWS console, let's go to EC2 dashboard, launch an EC2 instance, scroll down to advanced details. In the user data section, paste the script, and then you launch your instance. We can also combine metadata and user data to create a dynamic setup. For example, displaying the instance's public IP in a web page, like what is displayed on the screen now. This script retrieves the IP address from the metadata. It inserts the public IP into an HTML file. When users visit the instance IP, public IP in the browser, they see a web page displaying the instance own public IP. So a little advice here, always use IMDS v2 for better security. Also ensure user data scripts are tested before launching an instance. Use metadata for dynamic configurations instead of hard coding values. And lastly, log user data script output to troubleshoot any failures.